So much going on across North Texas this weekend, and unfortunately our forecast not cooperating with outdoor afternoon and evening plans today. Tomorrow, slightly lower coverage of storms, but still you're going to want to pay attention to the radar. Main Street Fest and Grapevine kicking off the last couple of days, and as we heat up this afternoon between about 2 and 8 o'clock this evening, those storm risks will also continue to rise. Either way, prepare for the heat, the humidity, and storm chances. Make sure if you're out and about, you have a way to receive warnings on your phone and you're paying attention to the radar. There's a couple of really strong storms impacting parts of North Texas last night. We ended up seeing storms fire up after about 5, 6 o'clock yesterday evening, and we saw a couple of strong storms drift through the heart of the Metroplex. This is large hail from Meridian, so that's going to be down in Bosque County, but several of our Metroplex counties once again reporting that severe hail, anywhere between quarter-sized up to, again, golf ball size at times. This is another shot of that severe hail from Godly. Thanks to Brittany and Scott Butler for sending this in. I have our satellite and radar on loop over the last 12 hours, so you can see the evolution of those storms that fired up again after 5, 6 o'clock yesterday evening, and then ended up moving through parts of the Metroplex and areas to the south and west before dissipating after 10, 11 o'clock last night once we lost that daytime heating. Now we're just waking up to mostly cloudy skies for some breaks in the clouds for others. Dew points are high. You feel the humidity as soon as you step outside. That dry line responsible for a couple of those storms last night retreating back to the west throughout the day today, and that will once again be the focal point of storm development after we heat up later this afternoon into the evening hours. Temperatures across the board to start 60s and 70s. Not much of a change there. You still feel the mugginess when you step outside. It feels just like a spring day, and we should be able to climb into the upper 80s to about 90 degrees before those storm chances ramp up. So the initial storms that form, and I'll show you this with our futurecast, will likely be well off to the west after about 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, impacting the Metroplex with the highest coverage, 60 to 70% coverage, between about 4 and 8 o'clock this evening, before eventually exiting off to the east after 9, 10 o'clock tonight. The Storm Prediction Center painting the majority of North Texas under that level 3 enhanced risk, which simply means there will likely be more severe storms than what we initially anticipated. It doesn't necessarily mean that those threats have really increased. We're still talking the same threats. The initial storms that form off to the west will likely be supercellular in nature and will have the potential to produce very large hail. So this is our futurecast as of 4 o'clock. Once they form into more of a line after 4, 5 o'clock, impacting the Metroplex, high winds will be the greatest threats before they head off to the east after about 9, 10 o'clock tonight. With another batch of storms possible after we heat up tomorrow afternoon, we keep that active weather pattern around. Again, Metroplex timing between about 4 and 8. That large hail risk will mainly be with the initial storms that form off to the west. In the Metroplex, we're focused on that high wind risk. Between about 60 and 80 mile-per-hour winds will be possible. The tornado threat is low, but it is not zero, and there will be a brief flood risk as far as that very heavy high rainfall rates are concerned. Tomorrow, that severe weather risk exists once again, and now on Monday, highlighting the northern parts of the Metroplex already under that level 3 enhanced risk for strong to severe storms. So taking a look at your forewarned 7-day forecast, that active weather hangs around through Tuesday morning before a front heads in and we finally dry out by the middle of the week. Drier air working its way in, so cooler, comfortable mornings are on tap before we heat back into the 80s mid to late week.